this tremendous power that we have. It's actually a tremendous, I would say, presence. And I put down this morning, it's a possession. It's something that we possess, that we're part of. And what's so awesome about it, it's so empowering that it actually ignites the cosmic forces of nature itself. It can actually ignite the cosmic forces, bringing into our manifestation tremendous, magnificent healings, peace of mind. It brings into our manifestation abundance and harmony. We know this to be a fact, do we not? And so the bottom line today is that we need to accept the fact that we are very empowered individuals when we open our hearts to something that's pretty special. And that special idea is what we're going to talk about today. I want to begin today by getting our thoughts out of the box of reason and logic. And you know that we're in trouble when I say that, don't we? We're going to climb out of that box of reason and logic and look at this idea of the love energy and find out what the heck is it really. How is it possible that we can actually bring into our experience and employ a caring, loving energy that we call love that can actually transcend the human drama? It can actually rise above all the negative aspects of the human drama. How is that possible? We know, we've been there, we've done that. I practice it almost every day going to the post office. What do? We walk in, and there's somebody that's ready to walk in the same door as I am. How many of you have been there? I've been there with Jean. I see her almost every week. We open the door, and there's all of a sudden, God bless you, sir, thank you. And they rush to the second door to open it for you. Or we'll walk in, and here's somebody who may be having some problems. They're thinking, you know, they're just kind of somber. And you smile at them. What do? Always. They smile back. So anyway, how is it possible that this tremendous love energy can make such a difference in our lives? Last year, a friend of mine and I were asked to, as you know, I've been very much involved with local stuff. We were asked to sit in. We were invited to sit in on this meeting that was going to be pretty negative. At least that's what they told us it would be. That there were a lot of unresolved issues, there was a lot of ego involved and hurt feelings, and there was all kinds of things going on. So they said, Angie, would you come? And we just want somebody from the outside to come in and, you know, just be there. And, you know, so anyway, the friend of mine and I, we got together to kind of plan what was going to go on and how we're going to proceed. And I thought, how are we going to appease this rampant egoism that may be trying, or the hurt feelings of others? And they told us that these issues were unresolvable. So we came out with a universal thought, a universal thing. You cannot solve a problem at the conscious level of which it was created, right? We have to go to a different level. So we're not going to, what are we going to do on this? We need to go that, we can't solve anger with more anger. We can't solve bitterness or distrust with more distrust, can we? And I'm going to throw in something that's kind of polite. You can't solve war with more war. But anyway, I needed to say that. So we try not to do that. I mean, when you think about it, we've had the war on drugs for what, 40 years? And we're still fighting it. And so that's what I'm talking about when we say we can't solve a problem at the level of consciousness with it's created. We need to go to a higher level. So what we decided to do, and being a zero limits type guy, and this friend of mine is not a PLCer necessarily, but his philosophy is very much higher. We decided to go to zero limits and this whole Pono philosophy. Let's try it. That gets us to that higher level. So we're walking in the door, and the door's open, and so we could hear some negative dialogue going on. So we did this. We thanked and blessed the room. This is what I'm talking about. Let's think out of the box today for a little bit. We thanked and blessed the room for providing a space for us to have this meeting. We also looked at the individuals in the room and knew that divine love permeates this room. That love is doing its perfect work right here, right now. And then as we walked through the door, we made this utterance. We thanked the universe for providing us the wisdom and intelligence to solve all the problems necessary. And so we went there, we sat in the back of the room, we didn't say anything, but all of a sudden everything shifted. And all of a sudden we were there sitting, watching people who wanted to work together, who decided to resolve the issues, and after an hour's worth of time, They came up with a strategic plan that would solve all the problems. And we didn't have to do one darn thing. We sat there with our authentic self, carrying with us the empowering, vibratory level of love itself. Let's clap for that, not for us. There's an exciting book out by Andrew Cohen. I don't know if any of you have heard it or read it or know about it. It's called Evolutionary Enlightenment. My God, what a book. And you know what? When you get excited, you say things. The book itself explains to us the power of this energy that we call love. But it also gives us a way to enhance our life by bringing forth, allowing the authentic self to emerge and to emerge from what we are. And he said in this book, he said, the first step is for us to do what? To wake up. Wow. To wake up. Are you awake? And to wake up. And he says, to wake up to what you are. We need to wake up to what we are. And he said, at the very core of our being, and of course I added this part, and it wasn't in the book necessarily, at the very core of our being, we are eternal beings. We were never born and we will never die. And you know, in our conditioned mind, we don't believe that. We don't accept that. If we would accept that just for a moment, just think of how empowered our life would be if we knew that we were this tremendous, dynamic, eternal being. But anyway, and part of that waking up process then would be this. If we're truly wanting to actually, I call it the insidious, to be free of this insidious control that the physical world has over us. Think about it. We spend most of our time worrying about stuff that doesn't count. You know, everything from the economy, the stupid wars that are going on, to all the other things that are going on. This insidious control that it has over us. If we want to actually deal with that and allow that authentic self to merge into our life, to come forth in our life, what do we need to do? And what Cohen says, and I think is pretty awesome, he says we need to be willing to let go of everything. Wow, what does that mean? And I love hearing us say from the pulpit, we are one with God. How many of us really accept what that really is? How are we one with God? What is that? And I think it's lovely that we do that. But he says we need to actually be willing to let go of everything that we are and take an inner journey. An inner journey where we go beyond who and what we are, where we go beyond space and time, where we go beyond the beginning and before the beginning of the universe itself. Now, this sounds like pretty grandiose, but let's think about that a minute. And what's explained in the book is, before the beginning, there was no time, no form, no space, and only absolute emptiness. And Cohen tells us, before the beginning, there was nothing, but you were there. I was there. We were there. Isn't that cool? Clap for Cohen. He's right. If we're one with the universe, if we're one with God, and if this energy of creation created the universe, we were there in the beginning. If we're really eternal, if we're one with this divine energy, why weren't we there before the beginning? I think Bob's going to love this. I think so. He's been saying it way before the book came out. He says we need to go before the beginning to get to where we want to go. And being a Gnostic, a New Thought Gnostic, that's his point. My point of view is not for us to learn how to do that, how to go to that inner journey and get to that place in consciousness where we're there at the beginning and before the beginning. That's not the point today. Because that's a class into itself. It's a class that we can get, these ministers teach.